And those tactile things like print, like we started this conversation around a magazine. Like even when we started Arcade, we had the hardest time thinking of a name for an agency. But the way that we ended up getting it done was we were like, what would we name a cool magazine if we were starting a magazine? And then we suddenly had tons of ideas, and Arcade was one of them, and we eventually picked Arcade. And then even when we started, we were like, what if we do a magazine at some point?
I know. We've talked about doing a magazine for so long. It's just like so much work. So I get why magazines don't exist anymore, because it's like so much work and it's like really hard. Like the revenue model is just like really tough. But it's funny because at my first job when I worked there, they were a magazine that had been publishing for 20 plus years. And their clients, like their ad clients, were like the Rolexes and like the Tiffany's and the Chanel's and things like that. And their like spreads were like $20,000. And I'd always be like, why would someone get, like, not why, but like, it just doesn't compute to me when like you could see on digital like the direct result of your ad, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that's the kind of magazine that we don't need. Like, no dig to your past employer, but I just feel like there's a kind of magazine that existed before print started to dwindle, advertisement placements and spreads, and it really wasn't like true editorial or like journalism.
But the
Or
one thing I
art.
did like about that era is that ads actually were editorial. Like ads, like there could be some really beautiful ads that would compete with editorial spreads. But I feel like now ads are truly just interruptions.
When you worked there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because when you say that, I think of like, that's when I'm thinking back to the 60s and 70s. Like ads were art. But like in the like 2010s, like were
like,
ads really art, you know?
I mean, some of these big brands for sure. Like they work with like top models. Like they'll have like Kendall Jenner in like a spread for Tiffany's alongside her spread for Vogue, you know? Like they do have that quality still.
That makes sense. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the new magazine looks like, and maybe we need to throw our hat in the ring, start a print mag.
That sounds like so much work, but
so fun. Like we're talking about trend reports and stuff like that. Like, why not make a magazine?